When growing on a slope or a steep hillside, such as this one over here, there are several ways you can go about doing that, and one of the most common ways is to terrace it out and kind of make yourself a flat level area that you can then build up and plant on. You can also terrace it out and plant in ground. Well, today I kind of want to talk about, well, what do you do if you just want to plant directly in ground on a hillside? There are a few things to take note of, and there are a couple of unique complications that come along with planting in ground on a slope. So, alright, as an example, I'm going to show you a weedy part of this hillside that was not excavated whenever we had the rest of it done. As you can see, let's walk up this way, being careful to step over things that have got in the ground. As you can see, that's still a sloped area, and the plants just naturally grow out of the hillside. So you don't need terraces or fancy beds to have a successful garden on a slope. Don't let my current gardens be a testament to this, because I'm not only dealing with a slope, I'm dealing with rocky soil. But in areas where topsoil isn't as much of an issue, there is more success. When planting on a steep hillside or slope, it's also sometimes suggested that you follow the contour of the land. So what exactly does that mean? I'm going to show you some plants here that I've transplanted, and it's kind of following the contour of the land. Let's see, all along here I have some herbs, and they continue down this way, which if you look, let's see, so I can see, if you look, that's the way the hillside is going. They're kind of going in line with the direction that the slope's going. It said you're going to get the least amount of erosion with that. But there are some reasons that you may want to do it kind of against the contour. And then there's some trains of thought on that as well. Some people choose to plant across the slope like these are. They're going across the slope. Now, the problem that can come with doing it this way is if you have particularly hard soil that doesn't drain quickly, this can cause basically a bowl to form. So your roots are just going to be constantly sitting in water. So that's something to keep in mind if you have really hard soil that doesn't drain water real quickly. And because, like I said, not all clay is created equal. Because there's so much stone in our soil, that does inhibit root growth, but it also makes it to where the water drains out of this hillside pretty quickly. So, what do you do if you can't do it across the land? And you can't really do it with the contour. Say the contour isn't how you're wanting to plant. You can also, and I'm going to show an example of this here in a moment, you can also cut from top to bottom. The thing with that is it's going to create a crevice. Anywhere where water runs, it's going to run in that crevice. So what you want to do is plant on the hill that's created. And I'm going to find a spot to demonstrate this real quick, because I have some nasturtium seeds that I've been soaking, and I just need to figure out what spot I want to plant them in, and I'll get my camera set up on it and I will show you what I'm speaking of. I wanted to come on here and tell you what I meant about soaking my nasturtium seeds, because I realized I kept saying that without an explanation. What I do is any hard shell seeds, you can do this with like beans, peas, a lot of stuff. You just soak them in water for a few hours. Some it says up to 12, others it says up to 24. And what you do is you soak it and it softens the hard outer shell, so they'll germinate a little more quickly. So that's what that is, in case you were confused or lost by what that meant. I've kind of got a little mound built up with soil, and you can see that it runs right along this. So the water will drain this way, and I'll plant here in this mound. Now I do want to say that you still could get some seeds washing away because there is no topsoil on this land here. If you have topsoil, you don't really have to worry about it quite so much, but the theory is still the same. You're still not going to want to plant in your low point. You want to plant in your high point. Because the water will, if you plant right here, the water will absolutely wash your seeds down. If you plant here, more than likely you're going to be good. If you get a real gully washer, well, you chance your seeds washing away no matter where you put them. So, hillside or not. So, it is getting ready to rain. I've had these nasturtium seeds soaking. I'm going to get them in the ground. I probably am not going to show that because really there's nothing to see. It'll just look like this. You won't be able to see anything. And ideally you would water them in afterwards, but like I said, it's getting ready to rain here. So I'm going to let nature take care of it, which, by the way, when it's 100 degrees out, as it is right now, an overcast, rainy day is going to be your best bet to get any gardening done. Okay, well that covers the way you would plant seeds in the ground. I am going to show you how you would plant something with a big root ball and something with a small root ball that's closer to like a 4-pack or 6-pack size you'd get from the nursery in the spring. I'm going to do a demonstration of a couple ways you can plant those on the hillside, and hopefully you're finding this information useful. So I'm going to plant my seeds and I'll be back with actual plants. When planting on a slope, you want to make sure you're standing on the highest point in behind where you want to dig your hole. When you're digging, dig kind of straight down and then pour it out, or push it out. Most people aren't going to have big old stones in theirs. But you see he's going straight down and then kind of just shoveling it out. And the reason you want to do that is because you want it to create a bowl. If you were doing it from the front side, it would create a shelf. And then whenever it rains, all your plants are going to run downhill. This right here, move your shovel for a second. This provides a little bit of a wall here. And it's pretty hard because this ground has been compacted forever. So when you plant your plant in this, it's going to give it some protection from slippage. If you start digging on this front side here, and you would have come in from the front, it would have been a shelf and you would have had to pack the soil back up, and it wouldn't have been secure because it would have all been crumbled soil that you just removed from the hole. Doing it this way, like I said, it provides a bowl basically for you to plant in, and it gives you a wall to where your plants aren't going to slip downhill. When I was in there editing that last clip, I realized that I did not show myself putting the plant in the ground and filling it around it. I just want to say that you would do that like you normally would. You would just put the plant in the ground and backfill it and mulch around it, or mulch with compost, or whatever it is you would do to normally plant your plants. And I also realized that I did not put a shot of me planting a small root ball on a slope. I finished planting some lavender the other day, and I had one little one left over that was kind of small, and I didn't know if it was quite big enough to make it. But it's the only thing I have with a small root ball, so I'm going to use that to kind of demonstrate. And yeah, I just wanted to come on and say that. I realized that I did not put that information in the video. Because I'm using planting with a much smaller root ball, I'm going to use this little spade, and you stick it in. And because this is a steeper slope, and it's a smaller root ball, you don't have to dig as deep. I'm even going to go in at a slight angle towards the back of the hillside, and then I kind of just lift. See how small he is? I want to show you. I've created that bowl shape. I put him in. And I backfill. Alright y'all, thanks for watching, and I can't wait to hang out with you next time.